Good morning again here in Nigeria, West Africa as a whole. My name is Obi Jane. I am the co-host of this program, and this program didn't fit at the right time now. That civil society is facing a lot of challenges. So I welcome you. Thank you for finding time. It's morning here. I know it may be afternoon or evening wherever you are, or even night. But thank you for honoring this invitation to be here to discuss this important meeting. We will start by doing some kind of registration, and we do it by you putting up in the chat box. Guy, is this recorded? Please, can we record this meeting?
Yes, it is recorded.
Okay. So put in a chat box, please introduce yourself, just brief, your name, country, and maybe what you work on. Yeah, just one thing you work on. Yeah, as we are doing it, we recognize the importance of our partners here who has really joined effort to make this happening. I'm not working in isolation. I have my able coordinator of the Africa as a whole. He has been a very supportive colleague, partner, brother. I don't know how to also describe. He has been so instrumental to see that Africa, the continent of Africa, grow to the level that we need to match up with the Westerns. And I'm not doing also in isolation. I have my speakers who is juicing this, who want to make us understand. They have a wealth of experience. Engineer Shuaibu Muhammad Abubakar. He has been my mentor. He's instrumental, my Oga. He has been everything to me. He has been making me grow in the right path. I welcome you, sir. Also, Victus, he has been my colleague. He has been a very good colleague. He has been there for us in everything. He has a weight of it. The speakers are really experienced. They worked in the field of mobilization of resources, project management. So they're not going to speak by literally, it's by experience. Please, can we welcome all of us by thumbing up, clapping up, pumping, champing within ourselves, introduce yourself. Thank you so much. I still remain Jane. I'm here with you to do this. Thank you so much, everyone. We have 5 minutes all that I have. Your country, where you're working, particular to you that you are working on. Thank you. As we do, we have 5 minutes so that we'll move on. We don't want to waste much time. We have 5 minutes. Please chat up. One thing you are particularly, you can be working in diverse sector, but one that is standing out for you. Yeah, I need to also do mine. I'm part of part two. I'm doing mine too. That comes in, please keep it. And as we keep introducing, the good thing is to know this is going to give us room to know and no area we are working together and maybe possible partnership. Yeah, I move on to welcome you. I have done that. And I have a brief remark on this question. Permit me to go to it at a deemed fit. Yeah, Across Africa, civil society is really battling with shrinked funding. That has been a real burden to solving societal problems. Civil society work with the grassroots, the community, where we have issues that are clamoring for funding, and that is not coming forth right now because it's cost over dependency AIDS. And this is why you have put up this event, which is really instrument for us to come and learn how we could maneuver, how we can still be relevant in the field of our endeavor. Yes, you know your mandate as civil society. You are for the public, you are for the people. So what makes you relevant is what we are talking about here. Because if we do not re-strategize and prioritize what we are, soon many of us will be fading out of the field. And that is not a good one. That is why we make this a very good mandate, that we talk to each other. From your continent, you are facing one or two challenges of resources. Again, it's not about the resources. How can we do have a high impact? Please be open. That is not just usual events where we come and talk and go. No, we are going home with what to do, how to do it, and how to do it better. And that is project and program. You cannot do anything as a civil society without program or project, because that is the house where you solve pertinent societal issues. You may be working in the area of good governance, you may be working in the area of democracy, peace building, health, education. You need programs, you need funding, you need the partnership, you need people, you need projects. Now, the purpose of also, like I've been echoing, is for us to rewrite the course, chant a new narrative on how we could sustain our mandate as civil society. We're happy here too that we have our government partners with us. They are also working in synergy with the civil society because they believe in the masses, they believe in the civil, they believe that they are also citizens. Outside the government shelf, they are citizens. After retirement from the government, they are coming back to the community to be a citizen. So that is why they are also joining force with us to also educate us how we can do this as civil society and do it very better. So with this understanding, and I have waken up, we need to limit our dependency and look inward within ourselves as an Africa, within ourselves as organization, within ourselves as individual. What can we do better? How can we write this case? How can we do things different so that we can still function properly as civil society? A time has come that we stop being a begging civil society. Yes, most of us can't do anything without you having a grant or somebody support. That is good, and that is not make us a life wire, yes. But outside that, what other things can you do to remain relevant? And this is what we have come to unveil so many things. And thank God we have experienced people with us that will share this. So it's high time we deliver a purpose-driven project capable of high impact. Anything that you are doing that is not impacting the people that you are working on, that is you're just rigmaroling around your work. So here we want to go home of how we can do little and achieve more. With this, I welcome you again. I ask you to be open. Please, you are experienced in your field. Yes, most of us are really experienced. If time permits, you can even come and share with us, which we have a section for that, of contributing. You have your experience. I also want to learn from you. Please find it to be open. Thank you so much. And this is what I have for you. I think I have made a little remark an exhortation and open up this event. With this, I call on the first speaker. The first speaker is going to talk on civil society project motivation. What is it that motivates you to do a project or write a proposal or conduct events? Like this event, something motivated us to do that. And again, how can you build leadership into your programming? So Guy, I welcome Mr. Guy. Like I said, he has been a wonderful partner, colleague, brother. Think about anything good around him, you will get him there. Thank you, Guy, take it up. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I'm trying to share my screen. I don't know if you can see it. Can you see my screen? You are muted, Obi. Let me try to share my screen.
Yeah, can anyone see? Okay, yeah, we can see. Please, if you are seeing his screen, can you make it up?
Yes, I've seen it.
Okay.
Okay, the sheet that.
Okay.
Okay, I have the sheet. There is a message popping up that is not allowing me to.
Yeah, you need to close the box.
Okay. I want to start it again.
Or maybe you can use a full screen from your PowerPoint if you can use a full screen sharing.
Okay, a minute.
So that you can be off, yes.
Okay. Like a more serious problem. It's like blocked somewhere. Hello, Jane. Jane? Maybe I'll try to restart.
Yes.
Because it is making my laptop freeze. It's actually frozen now. So
you have a lot of content that maybe you could get out of your laptop so that it can be free.
okay, I'm just going to restart.
Okay, maybe you can be speaking because of time.
I mean, restarting the laptop because I'm lost on Zoom actually. Can other one speak before me while I try to fix this?
He is finding a little challenge with the laptop. I called on the second speaker, please, if you are ready, so that you come up. And the speaker is going to speak on civil society project coordination. Yes, the first one is what motivates you and your partner, which Guy will come up to speak on that. We arrange it so that it can flow, but because of the challenges. So he's going to speak on project coordination, management, and sustainability of civil society in Africa. I call on engineer, my able Oga, engineer Muhammad Shuaibu Abubakar. Sir, can you have your floor? Engineer, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Okay, please, can you take your floor? The first speaker
Okay,
is
thank you very much.
You can take your floor to speak. Yes.
Okay, can you project it, please? Hello?
Good morning, everybody.
Hello, good morning. So the topic is CSOs project coordination and management for sustainability in Africa.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for the invitation.
Thank you very much. But I like to have translation in French because my English is not very well.
Thank you. We got that omitted. Is it Asa, safe word, is speaking? Sorry. Please introduce yourself for who that is voluntary for translation.
Yeah, I need translation in French.
Okay, you need translation in French.
I made the translation from French to English. Thank you.
Please, can you make me understand what you want?
I think the speaker was saying we're going to use French instead of English. That's why I was asking that can see if there's a possibility to translate French into English so that we can be at the same page. Thank you so much.
Please, can you add up in the chat box for easy because of their volume is low? Yagi, is there any way to help? I'm not French inclined so much, and I don't know if we didn't get the room for translation. But I know, Guy,
Madam Jen, can I go ahead?
Yeah, you can go ahead while let's see how we maneuver the two challenges. It's an oversight. As he goes, we'll find how to maneuver it. So speaker two, please.
Okay. So now we are looking at project coordination and management for sustainability in Africa for the CSOs, that is the civil society organization. Civil society organizations, as we all know, play a vital role in addressing social, economic, and governance challenges across Africa. They operate in areas such as poverty reduction, healthcare, education, environmental protection, peace building, and community development. However, for CSOs interventions to have lasting impact, effective project coordination and management are essential. Strong coordination ensures that projects are implemented effectively, resources are utilized responsibly, and outcomes remain sustainable long after donor support ends. Therefore, sustainability in Africa's development context requires CSO to adopt strategic planning, transparent management practices, community participations, and strong partnership with government, private sectors, and international organizations. So key sectors impacted by CSO, if we are looking at it, will be the health sector, the education sector, the humanitarian response, agriculture, governance and democracy, climate change, and environmental protection. However, sustainability remains a major challenge due to weak project management system. I will now look at the objectives of this presentation. It aims to examine one, resource mobilization strategies for CSOs, discuss project management approaches for sustainability, highlight challenges faced by African CSOs, present case studies from Africa across 3 countries, Nigeria, Kenya, and possibly Uganda, then provide recommendation for sustainable CSO operations across Africa. Now, what is the importance of project coordination? Project coordination refers to the process of aligning activities, stakeholders, resources, and timelines to achieve project objectives efficiently and effectively. Now, having said that, Let us understand
It seems like you have an issue with the sound.
community ownership, environmental sustainability. So look at this. One of the key issues here is community ownership. However financial buoyant you are, however the institution that is backing you is, once you don't have community ownership, that project will not be sustained. Then we need environmental sustainability. Many African NGOs struggle because they rely heavily on external donor funding, which brings us to look at the challenges facing these CSOs in Africa. One of the major challenges that civil society organizations face in Africa includes dependence on foreign donors, short-term project funding, weak institutional capacity, limited local philanthropy, weak project management system, political and regulatory constraint. This leads us to over 90% of funding for some African NGOs comes from international donors. Why is that so? Why don't we have local donors? Then this creating vulnerability when donor priorities change. Because you can be focused on certain things and the donor priority changes, and you have to change with it, which brings a lot of confusion. Thus, from this, since we want to have multiple sources, then let us look at what is resource mobilization. Resource mobilization is the process of generating financial and non-financial resources to support organizational objectives. These resources include: one, funding, volunteers, partnership, knowledge, technology. Looking at all this, effective resource mobilization will ensure long-term sustainability in the works of our civil society organizations. So, since we are talking about resource mobilization, let's look at the key sources of civil society funding. Some common funding sources include international donor agencies, government grants, corporate social responsibility, foundations and philanthropists, membership contribution, community fundraising, social enterprises. Private contributions have been found to significantly influence sustainability of NGOs. So we'll look at all these things and see how or what strategy are we going to apply to get these fundings. Successful civil society organizations tend to apply multiple strategies. How? One, by diversifying funding sources, two, proposal and grant writing, through strategic partnership, through corporate engagement, and digital fundraising. And lastly, but not least, social enterprise development. So this diversification reduces dependence on a single donor. Therefore, with this, we have to look at strategic partners. Partnership helps mobilize technical expertise, financial resources, institutional support, and these partners may include government, international NGOs, private sector, universities, community groups, and so on. This brings me to the role of project management in sustainability. Because managing managing projects ensures efficient use of resources. So CSOs must ensure efficient use of resources. There should be achievement of project goals, because all project has its goals. So CSOs must focus on the goals to be achieved. There must be transparency and accountability. And you have to ensure long-term impact, because poor project management often leads to project failures, even when funding is available. So we have to be very careful with that and ensure that the project is in line with the objectives and its goals to be achieved. Now, let us look at the core elements of project management. Components of key components of project management includes: 1, project planning. They won't say, if you don't plan, you are planning to fail. 2, budgeting and financial management. You must ensure whatever you are doing or you are going to procure has its budget. Then another key component is monitoring and evaluation. Very key, because in monitoring and evaluation, you have to look at what the project is achieving, whether it is achieving the objective, or you have to make adjustments. Then you have to look at the risk management. You have to define the risks involved in such projects right from the planning stage. Then another key component, very important key component, is stakeholders' engagement. You have to ensure stakeholders understand what you are doing at every stage, right from the planning stage. Then you have to ensure you have good reporting and become accountable. So reporting and accountability is very, very key component. Thus, effective governance improves sustainability of community projects. Let's look at monitoring and evaluation. As I said earlier, monitoring and evaluation helps CSOs to measure project progress, improve decision-making, demonstrate impact to donors, ensure accountability. Therefore, we have to ensure we have MIE systems, that is monitoring and evaluation systems, which will help attract future funding. From here, let us look at community participation. Once, because the project is going to be domiciled in the various communities we work with, so community involvement improves sustainability because communities develop ownership. That was why most of the time, some of the CSOs prefer to go to communities and conduct participatory rural appraisal or rapid rural appraisal to ensure there is community participation and ownership. Then it will also help us to mobilize local resources. It also helps us to address the real needs of the society or the community that the project is domiciled in. So from all this, we can see that projects without community participation often collapses after funding ends because there is no ownership. But once community takes ownership, they are home and dry. Then let us look at case studies of the various projects done by health project sustainability in Nigeria. A study of civil society organizations in Bauchi State, Nigeria, examined how NGOs sustained health program after donor funding. The findings shows that CSOs helped sustain health services through community engagement. And partnership with local authorities strengthen program continuity. However, lack of resources remain a major challenge. Thus, if we look at our earlier presentation, so there is need to diversify funding sources. Then what are the lessons learned? One of the lessons learned is community ownership is critical. And secondly, government collaboration enhances sustainability. Now, case study 2 is community water in Kenya. Research in Kakamega County, Kenya, showed that resource mobilization and project governance significantly influence sustainability of water projects. The key factors were strong project leadership, transparent financial management, and local community involvement. So from here, you can see that partnership with the community ownership is very, very key. Then what is the outcome of the study? That projects with better governance were more sustainable. Then we look at case study 3, social enterprise model for Africa. This was done for Africa. For Africa, adopted social entrepreneurship models to reduce dependence on donor funding. Examples of where those things were carried out were: 1, dairy initiatives in Uganda. It has shown a lot of significant improvement. 2, digital savings group in Rwanda. The impact shows that diversified income sources is critical. It increases financial independence. It helps have greater long-term sustainability for programs. Lessons from the case from these case studies that we've seen across 3 African countries. Important lessons include diversified funding improves sustainability. So CSOs must diversify funding sources, as mentioned earlier. Strong governance ensures accountability. Keep to the project. Community ownership is essential. You must have community ownership through participatory rural appraisal or rapid rural appraisal, in engaging the entire community. Partnerships strengthen impact. Because once you partner with people, they understand what you are doing, the more impact you get and the more support you get. Social enterprise models can support long-term financing. Then what are the strategies for strengthening CSO sustainability? 1, civil society organizations should, 1, build strong financial management system, very key. 2, invest in staff capacity development, because you cannot give what you don't have. So you have to strengthen your staff capacity. Then diversify funding sources, as seen from those 3 case studies. Adopt digital fundraising. Then develop social enterprise. Social enterprises help reduce dependence on donors. Strengthen monitoring and evaluation system, because this gives you an overview of the entire processes we are going through, and it gives a bird eye view of what you are doing, and it helps people that are going to fund you develop interest in what you are doing, because there will be transparency and accountability. Then let us look at the role of governments and donors in assisting CSOs.
President, I need
Government and donors should, one, provide long-term institutional funding, strengthen local philanthropic ecosystem, support capacity building, encourage partnership with private sectors. In conclusion, CSOs, civil society organizations, remain critical actors in Africa's development, because most time government officials cannot be in all the places. Hard to reach areas are often those gaps are often bridged by CSOs. However, sustainability requires effective resource mobilization, strong project management, strategic partnership, community ownership. By strengthening these pillars, CSOs can achieve long-term development impact across Africa. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much for this, you see, and well drafted, well taken time to educate us. Please, I know as he speaks, you were noting your question or contribution, but I will urge us that all speakers speak so that when question comes, we know how to direct it. I don't know, Guy, if you're ready, or we call on the third speaker. Guy, are you ready?
Yes, I'm here now.
All right, I call on the first speaker. Which challenges is inevitable? We can't take it out. You planned. The other side of the world always plan against. So Guy would have taken the first speaking while this comes second. But nevertheless, I know we are listening actively. So Guy, please take it over. You have 10 minutes, and nevertheless, take care of everything that you want to speak on. Thank you.
Okay, now I'm sharing the screen again, and I hope this time it'll be good. So
yeah,
I hope
it's good.
Okay.
Yes, it's good.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Okay, thank you. So I'm Guy, as you said, the Africa organizer for World Beyond War. And my main question is about motivation. And this question I can answer immediately by saying motivation for CSO project is the vision. It's the vision for each civil society organization that drives you towards the goals you want to achieve. And if you are surrounded with a good strategy, a good people, there will be no doubt that you will be successful. So I'm going to talk looking at the perspective of two main organizations to share like some ground experience so that we see how these organizations manage to take their leadership forward and amplify the voices and bring the messages that they have to the public and bring definitely some impact on the field. So about the challenging, as we heard from the first presentation, we also note that we have talked too much about the issue of funding, which is a fact. So sustainability is about funding, that's a fact, but not always is related to funding. So this is first thing I want to point out. And sustainability is also about people, about systems, about values. Yes, because and I want to, many civil society organizations struggle with leadership and motivation. So I will be posing this main question: how can African civil society organizations build sustainable projects, sustainable models? So as I said, I will take the example of two organizations, one World Beyond War, which I work with, and the other, the Women's National League for Peace and Freedom, the Cameroonian section that I have worked with in the past since 2014. Before I joined World Beyond War, I was working with that section of WILF in Cameroon. So I'm based in Cameroon, so that's why I'm taking this example. So about World Beyond War. So World Beyond War is a global peace movement that was created in 2014 in the US that has 52 chapters and works with affiliates around the world. The theory of change of World Beyond War is grounded on education about the myth that surrounds wars, because people have put in mind that war is beneficial, like wars are inevitable, we profit from wars, and this kind of myths that World Beyond War actually works to debunk. And we have our non-violent method, action, activism, to debunk these myths. And we have a strong focus of our work on media, because we try to use all new medias, traditional media that exist, to try to change the narratives around this framing that the world needs war. The world actually doesn't need war, and that's why it is this strong motivation that World Beyond War has to end the wars in the world. And ending war for World Beyond War is not actually the war of the day. It's all about this world, the war system, the militarization system that we try to counter. So about the structure, World Beyond War is a volunteer driven organization. It's work with chapters and affiliates around the world. In Africa, for instance, we have 17 chapters and a good number of affiliates organizations who work with One War in a decentralized leadership model. So it is a grassroots organization. It's organization that belongs to its member who are located everywhere, in every part of the world. So in terms of resources, this is like a experience sharing that can maybe inspire. So World Beyond War, World Beyond War's work is encouraged, sustained by individual donors and foundations. We have people who like can give $5, $10 every month or once sometimes for World Beyond War to exist. And the World Beyond War do not accept funding from government, from institutions that in some way are in favor of militarism, because our vision is anti-militarism, anti-war. We are pro-peace. So to avoid any kind of conflict with our vision, we do not accept any kind of financial support from these governments, institutions that are generally pro-war. So we have this. This is part of our values, indeed. So mention how this is having some impact. Anyway, it's having impact that we've taken. For example, the case of Africa, the movement is fast growing. Over the past 2 years, Africa is the region where the movement of World Beyond have grown fastly. In 2020, we have one chapter, and at the end of 2025, you have 17 chapters. Nigeria being one of these chapters. We have chapters in Cameroon, in Senegal, in the Gambia, in Mali, in Zimbabwe, in Burkina Faso, Senegal, Libya, Uganda, DRC, I mean, 17 of them. So I have not mentioned all them here, but you can find this information in our website, or I can share it afterward. So let me take now the case of WILF in Cameroon to see how it is structured, the way it's helped this itself to make impact. So first, WILF Cameroon is operating in a conflict-affected context. In Cameroon, we have open wars in 3 regions out of 10. And one is in the north part, Cameroon, neighboring Nigeria, Chad, and Central African Republic, which has been since 2012 facing the attacks from the Boko Haram groups that you all know. And in the southern part of Cameroon, we have 2 regions that have been facing this issue of separatism. We have armed groups that has taken weapons against the government who want secession of these 2 parts of the English-speaking region of Cameroon. And we'll work in this context, and they try to build a movement of women who are working with the UN Security Council's Resolution 1325, try to bring women's participation in conflict resolution, peace building processes. So it's a women-led organization that has been partnering with other youth-led and women-led organizations or women groups to make this movement strong in Cameroon. WILS has an inclusive and collaborative leadership and have strong local anchoring. WILF is an international organization that is based in Geneva and the US, but has national sections. I think WILF has like about 40 or 45 national sections. Cameroon has one of those sections. So it is this strong local anchoring that make this movement strong. And in this perspective, the approach of WIL is to build from local to global. In terms of strategy, I've just mentioned it. It builds partnership with women organizations, and also it's part of a global network of Africa, as WILF in Africa has about, I think 18 sections of WILF are in Africa, and the Cameroonian section is within this network to try to work together. So this strategy of partnership, as we heard from the first presentation, is really key and effective and functioning to bring this motivation of organization alive. So in terms of impact, in terms of performance, so WILF have become in Cameroon and in Africa, I mean sub-Saharan Africa, a key organization influencing at the policy level. For instance, Cameroon have developed the National Action Plan to implement the UN Security Council Resolution 1325, and WILF has been leading this process since 2014. And Cameroon today has the second generation National Action Plan to implement this resolution. And this is also thanks to a strong community mobilization, because the organization is on the ground. It's not that kind of organization who will be in the office trying to lead policy level or lobbying only institutions. This is one part, but it is also having a strong presence on the field, meeting communities where they are, try to hear from people, try to include the voices of people in the communities in the policy making. And this like logically has fostered social cohesion, among different group, among different social components in Cameroon. And this is how WILF built its project. All the project that the organization have been building is based of this, has this social cohesion as a theme that is around all these its project. So in terms of how World Beyond War and WILF models, examples that for me, it's that all global movement, all had local anchoring, all these organizations have a partnership. They are partnership driven. They work with partners, with affiliates, with volunteers, and both help the organization rely on strong values and on leadership. So the key things that I will note at the end of this presentation is that there's no a particular model for sustainability. We have different models, but leadership and values must be central. Whatever model we choose, but you have a strong leadership and we have our values that we respect and that we promote, that we experience ourselves, our values, it's enough to be sustainable. And then partnerships and people drive impact. I will add to what we heard from the first presentation that funding is also necessary. It's not compulsory at all, but it is necessary for an organization to be sustainable. And I was happy to listen to some ways to raise funds, including locally diversify sources of funding that are necessary to make an organization sustainable. So to conclude, I will say that sustainability is about leadership. Yes, it's about leadership. And for an organization to be really sustainable, it needs to invest in people to protect its values and build systems. And when we have this put together, funding will come as logically, it will come as logic. If you already build leadership, you build values, you build systems, it will be a way for us to have more opportunities, develop opportunities, and create more impact. So that is all I had to present this morning. And if there is questions, I think I will be happy to provide some answers. Thank you.
I thank you, Guy, for this wonderful case study enumeration that has really taken us a bit far. And if you are doing it, you know you're on the right path. You've also seen how to do it well. Please keep your questions, contribution, as a time is going to be a lot for us to educate ourselves, for us to brainstorm and also learn together. We have the last speaker, and who is going to do justice to the matter why we are here. That is the resource mobilization, the 8 courts, and civil society sustainability. You find that sustainability is echoing in all that we are talking here. Sustainability is what makes you relevant. I called Mr. Vistus Chibu Ejiofor. Are you there, Mr. Vistus?
Yeah, thank you, Jen.
Please, can you take your floor?
Yeah, thank you so much. I want to correct a few things. My name is Ejiofor Vitus Chibueze and not Ejiofor.
You're sounding relaxed. Can you get us tempo up?
Yeah, can you hear me clearly now?
Yeah, we can see you are live now. Before you're
Good,
sounding.
thank you. Thank you. I said I want to correct a few things. My name actually is a Jogu Vitus Chibweze and not a Jofo.
All right, the Chibweze is missing. Yeah, taken.
Yeah, thank you so much. I want to appreciate all of you, and I say good morning to all distinguished guests, fellow CSO leaders, and esteemed stakeholders. My name actually is Jogu Vitus Chibweze. I'm the Executive Director of Rosanna Empowerment Foundation. It is truly an honor to be part of this important program that is organized by the Center for Public Awareness and Environment and Development. Today, I want to speak very simply and practically about something we are experiencing. Many of my colleagues, the people that have spoken, have already done justice to some of them. The other thing is resource mobilization, its costs, and how our organizations can survive and grow despite these challenges. Now, for many years, CSOs in Africa depended heavily on international donors. That support helped us to do important work, quite all right, we know. But today, things are changing. Funding is reducing, priorities are shifting, and competition is increasing. So the question now is, how do we continue to serve our communities when funding is no longer guaranteed? This is what I will be sharing with you today in a very practical, simple strategies that are already working. When you look at the slide, the first slide is showing me the title, which is Resource Mobilization, Its Costs, and CSO Sustainability in Africa. And in doing that, I will share practical strategies and real-life experiences on how we can sustain our organizations despite shrinking aid. Why is this conversation important? Why does it matter? As we can see on this slide, this conversation is very important. CSOs play a critical role in Africa's development, whether in education, whether in health, women empowerment, or youth development. However, many of our organizations heavily rely on international aid. And now that aid is reducing, and our donor priorities are also changing. So the big question is, how do we survive and continue making impact? That is why I say aid is shrinking, but impact must continue. Now let's look at what resource mobilization is all about. It is about strategically securing everything we need: money, people, partnerships, and even tools. Many people think it is only about writing proposals. No. It is about building multiple sources of support. The key insight here is very simple, and that is sustainability. And it comes from having multiple income streams, not just one donor. Now, the reality of African CSOs. Many CSOs depend on single donor or funding source. This makes organizations very vulnerable. If the donor changes focus, if the donor reduces funding or withdraws completely, the organization will begin to struggle. So the lesson here is clear. Dependence creates instability. If we are totally dependent, we get ready for instability. Now, the case inside. I work with an organization called Rosanna Empowerment Foundation. And let me share some of our experiences here at REF. We started with small international grants, just like many organizations. But we quickly realized that relying only on grants was risky. So we changed strategy. How did we do that? We introduced local fundraising. That's one. We in partnership with private sector organizations. That's two. And we also introduce income generating activities. And you know what the result is? We become more stable and less dependent. That is what I call financial resilience. Now, the reality of escort. Donors are reducing budgets. Yes, we know. They are focusing on fewer priorities. Sectors like women empowerment, youth development, and advocacy are already affected. For example, some NGOs in Nigeria saw funding drop by 15 to 20%. And this is a fact. It's not a theory. And now we look at the impact of head cuts. What does this mean to the CSOs? As shown here, we can see that projects are delayed and canceled. Staff are reduced. Outreach to communities become limited. But there is another side to this. This challenge is also an opportunity to innovate. I learned early in life that necessity is the mother of invention. Whenever you are thriving on a particular thing and you don't think about the future of that thing, you just find out that you are sitting on a keg of gunpowder. Because one day, if that thing's supposed to work the way you want, and you have not put any strategies in place, what do? So I want to tell you that headquarters is giving us a challenge and an opportunity to innovate, discover ourselves, and see real things where they're supposed to be. It forces us to think differently and become more sustainable. And with this, we need to put in some strategies in place. And number one strategy is diversifying fund. That means don't depend on one source. Try to explore local donors and philanthropies. Try to explore some corporate partnerships. There are many all over the place. Even where you are operating, they are there. Try to explore community contributions. The community you think that they need your help all the time, there are so many things they can do for you or your organization. Also try to explore free for service programs. There are people that are there that are willing to lend a hand so that you will stay on with the program. This program is born out of passion. And you know that sometimes when that program is no longer working, you find yourself depreciating because you are not actually doing what you are called to do. For example, at the place I'm working, we run training programs for women. And some of these women are made to do some things by themselves. So that the program, we help them to generate income that also support our work. Now, strategy number 2, building partnership. We cannot do it alone. We cannot do the work of helping people or doing what we are called to do in the CSOs alone. We need collaborators. We need to work with private companies. We need to work with government agencies. We need other CSOs. We are all partners in progress. CSO work is not a competition. It's not something you compete with one another and say, this one is progressing and the other one is not progressing. No. You move with each and every one of us. Every work of the CSO is putting head on one thing: humanity. For instance, we partner with, in this place, we partnered with one agribusiness company to train the youth. They brought expertise, we brought the structure, and together we achieved more. Without that partnership, we couldn't have done that. Now, what is the strategy number 3? Number 3 strategy is community engagement. This slide is very important. Sustainability comes when the community is involved. A lot of people have gone to do some activities in some communities. I saw some places government went and renovated schools. They put in some modern gadgets, equipment, everything there, so that the students will learn in a very conducive environment. But given it 2 days, 3 days, go back there, you see empty space. All those things have been taken away by people that do not mean well to the society. And believe me, many of the people in that community, they saw some of those people when they were taking those things away. If these people were well educated and well informed, that this is not just government property, this is not just NGOs intervention. No, this is something that is here to help your community. Your community will thrive as a result of these things being in place. If they own it up, if they are involved in it, they will hardly allow those things to be taken away. So, in this, I'm talking about sustainability of our projects, and it comes when these community people are involved. So, encourage volunteerism. Try it. Encourage volunteerism is very important. Donations in kind. Also, encourage local fundraising. When community people participate in something, in some of these things, they will feel pain when those things are being purified or taken away from the right place where they were put. Now, at the organization where I'm working, some of our agricultural projects were supported by local communities. When people contribute, they take ownership. And when they take ownership, sustainability is guaranteed. Yes, the projects last longer. Now, let me quickly take strategy 4 and 5 together. and that is 6 systems and social enterprise. First of all, we need to strengthen our systems. Strengthen our systems in good governance, in transparency, proper financial management, and strong reporting. These help to build trust. Second, explore social enterprise. I keep on saying, giving an example with my organization, because this is where I know better. In the organization where I'm working, we sell organic farm produce. How do we do this? In the place where we gather women for agricultural training, help them in poultry farming and other things. All the dungs from the chickens and all that, people came to buy them as organic manure. And also we develop training materials. You can also do this in your own organization. It works. It works. Now, this also creates income while you still achieve your mission. What are the key lessons here? Now, from all these experiences, here are the key lessons. Always try to plan for the uncertainty. Do not believe that everything will be rosy all the time. Because what you are having today, tomorrow you may not have it. It may fizzle out of your hand. Try to document and communicate your impact. Engage your community, very key. Also invest in your team. Do not allow them to get frustrated. Invest in them. They are human beings, and without them, the work cannot be done alone by you. And lastly, keep innovating. These are not optional. They are necessary for survival of your organization. Now let's look at the impact of sustainability. So what happens when we do all these things right? We begin to see real impact, yes. And we see the youth become empowered, yes. We see women gain economic independence. We see communities grow stronger. And our organizations survive difficult times. As I like to say, sustainability is what ensures impact, and it never stops. So what must we do now? Let us rethink how we raise funds. Let us rethink how we raise funds. Yes, how we raise funds matters, not depending on donors alone. Embrace innovation in your own little way. There are so many things that can come up from your organization that you can use it as a selling point. Build strong partnership. Don't be an island. Always get close to other organizations. When they are doing things, go close to them. How did you do this? Because you are partners in progress. You are not competitors. Involve your communities. Your community members, they are very important. So let us understand this early and clearly. Health costs are not the end. They are a wake-up call, and they help us to innovate and look inwards. In my conclusion, I want to say that CSOs in Africa can survive and even thrive, but only if we can adapt. So let us collaborate, let us innovate, and build a sustainable system. Thank you very much for listening. I look forward to working together for a stronger and more sustainable civil society in Africa. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, all the speakers. You have really, really blessed us so much. You have really synchronized all to be matching. We appreciate you. Please, can we appreciate them all in the house, please? If you are live in the house, please appreciate the speakers.
Congratulations for all them. Congratulations, Brother Fegab. Congratulations, all of you. Congratulations,
All right.
sister.
Yeah, thank you. As a co-speaker, I may not have spoken, but I have to summarize and open up for discussion. Yeah, and they do justice to the time. Thank you so much, everyone. If you are ardent listening from the beginning to the third, for the first speaker to the third speaker, you know they are saying one thing in another way. You find out that one is local diversification. That's too so strong. Can we cast our eyes down to the where we are? Irrespective, we are still looking from the top. Can we go the bottom? The locality we belong to. We are coming from the community. We are coming from our family. We are coming from our society. This has people therein. We have philanthropy. We have our revenues. We have our government. We have our people over there. You can see that local philanthropies came up so strongly. And that has to build synergy with partnership. Often CSO, we do things in isolation. Many of us here now, if time permits for us to speak, you find out that majority of us are working in one thing together. Joining that force to do that stands so strong than doing it as an individual. You also find a governance, leadership and governance too strong from all speakers. In as much we are solving societal problem, it's good to put a governance structure, financial management. When you get these things, how do you manage it? How do you do things to keep for the organizations running? Again, you find out diversification also stands strong. That we are charity, that we are non-profit, does not mean you can do other things as a source of getting money to fund your organizational projects or program. Yeah, I know the way the system of NGO work, like you need to get a support, you need to get an international base to see that you are waxing strong. That is good. Why we do that, we also need to work strong. We are talking about 8 courts. And the third speaker told us the impact what impact of 8 courts. You have passed the first thing, we cannot fund, we cannot do that, we cannot do that. Can you hear me all, please?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Yes, we can hear you now.
You completely, but now
Yeah.
we can hear you.
We can hear you now.
Okay, network is really far, and time is for discussion. The last evil's too strong for me. It's like a real wake-up call. I told you I'm also a participant. I'm learning also with everyone. So with this, the time is up on for us to have discussion. Do you have questions for speakers? Do you have please indicate with the icon if it's question, go direct to the question so that we know who is to direct the question for response. And if it's for contribution. And thank you, the time is now. Open discussion. If this makes sense for you, what do you have to say? Or what is that question? Thank you. Is there anyone with...
Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon. Hello.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, good morning, good afternoon. Thank you so much for a wonderful presentation.
We are hearing.
Yes, to all those that have presented, thank you so much for the insight, for making it elaborate for someone like me that is actually new into the non-profit ideology, the NGO ideology, for me to broaden my horizon and to have a deep knowledge about how I can sustain my organization through the limited funding and resources that we have. So my question is, looking at the presentations, so how do an organization get to sustain itself without necessarily depending on other means of funding from other organizations or other donor agencies? So how can the organization internally sustain itself and its members without asking for support or donations from the outside organizations? And looking at the level of transparency, is very, very important that organizations source out funding for themselves to sustain their projects. Thank you all.
So Jane, how will you manage this? Do you want to take more questions and answers at the end, or how? Because there are many people with hands raised.
Okay. Okay. May knock off in case I'm off. I think all the questions should come up. So this because it cuts across all the speaking. Yeah. So I think we should. I'm taking Willie. Can you take your question? Let's take the question, and all speakers, please note the response if you are handle with it. Willie, man, can you make...
Yeah, thank you very much. Good morning.
Please.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. We are sorry, I can speak in French because my English is not very good.
Yeah, we have to try again. Try more, little and little, we are right.
It is possible.
You can try.
Yeah, you can translate. Yeah, thank you very much. Oui, ma question, j'ai été très attentive. Je commence d'abord par me présenter. Je suis Madame Takebuka Wilhelmine. une organisation, je représente une organisation qui travaille sur les droits des femmes et la promotion de leurs droits et bien sûr sur la recherche de la consolidation de la paix en RDC. Bon, j'ai bien suivi tous les intervenants que je dois remercier. Le premier a parlé sur la planification et la gestion financière, le deuxième sur, je ne sais pas, sur l'impact et la durabilité et l'autre sur l'impact. Ah oui, nous avons une expérience de 30 ans sur terrain. Mais ça fait un bout de temps qu'on n'a pas eu de financement, donc l'organisation est vraiment en dessous de la moyenne. On travaille, mais pas tellement comme on a travaillé dans le temps. Maintenant, je voulais poser ma question sur quelle stratégie on peut adopter pour que la durabilité et l'impact soient vraiment très visibles sur le terrain. Parce que le système de financement, vous allez trouver que c'est un projet de 6 mois et pendant cette période-là, vous exécutez le projet, la communauté est tellement impliquée, mais par après, vous allez remarquer que 2 ans, 3 ans, 5 ans après, la communauté lâche parce qu'il n'y a pas eu un suivi. Maintenant, je voudrais savoir quelle est la stratégie qu'on peut appliquer pour que la communauté soit tenace et qu'elle continue à conserver les acquis pour que la durabilité soit vraiment réelle et que l'impact soit vraiment visible sur le terrain. Parce que je vais donner des exemples de deux projets qu'on avait réalisés. On avait mis en place un centre communautaire polyvalent pour la protection, l'autonomisation des victimes de conflits. Et nous, je crois que dans la planification, on avait adopté une approche qui n'était pas vraiment appropriée. On avait pensé à une appropriation de la communauté pour la gestion du centre. Juste après la réalisation et la mise en place du centre, on s'est retiré, nous, en tant qu'organisation de mise en œuvre. 5 ans après, quand je suis repassée au centre, j'ai trouvé que tout l'équipement n'existe plus, le centre ne fonctionne plus. Tout ça, c'est parce que la communauté n'était pas vraiment... Oui, la communauté n'était pas tellement bien préparée pour la gestion de ces centres. Et je crois aussi que c'est parce qu'on avait impliqué le gouvernement. On avait pensé que le ministère ou la division du genre femmes et familles pouvait assurer la continuité et accompagner la communauté pour la gestion de ces centres. Malheureusement, ça n'a pas été fait, de sorte que quand je suis passée là, c'était un très bon projet qui était inauguré par la Marche mondiale des femmes. C'était vraiment un très, très bon projet, mais aujourd'hui, les bâtiments sont là, mais ça ne fonctionne plus. Je suis en train de me battre pour que je trouve un partenaire qui pourra nous financer pour que les activités soient relancées. Mais en ce moment-ci, c'est aussi compliqué dans notre pays parce que les projets-là, c'est dans la zone occupée par les rebelles.
La zone de
Oui.
guerre.
Oui, mais on espère que ça va aller. On a l'espoir que d'ici là, la situation pourra se décanter et qu'on pourra continuer à travailler normalement. Ça, c'est la première expérience. Mais une autre expérience, on avait mis, quand il y avait les rebelles qui venaient massacrer et faire des histoires, piller la population dans les territoires de Walungu, on avait mis en place les noyaux, les comités de vigilance. Donc, on avait créé dans les villages des groupes de jeunes qui devrait faire les patrouilles la nuit, alerter avec des torches et des sifflets si jamais ils voyaient les rebelles descendre, pas les rebelles, mais les Rwandais qui venaient piller et massacrer la population. Et ça va vraiment, là, on avait eu vraiment des bons résultats, mais par après, ces noyaux de vigilance, alors que la guerre continuait à déranger, les rebelles étaient toujours dans la population. Tout ça, jusqu'à présent, ces comités de vigilance, ça ne fonctionne plus. Tout ça, ça m'écoeure. Et là, je me dis que est-ce que vraiment des bons projets comme ça qui peuvent aider la population, la communauté, on doit vraiment souffrir de ce manque d'accompagnement jusqu'au bout, même si le projet est déjà clôturé. Parce que pour la durabilité et l'impact, c'est là où nous devons vraiment bien réfléchir et trouver de bonnes stratégies. Merci beaucoup. J'ai pris assez de temps avec mes 2 questions. Merci bien.
Cool. Merci bien. Merci beaucoup. I think we got it for those that are able to get the translation, but I think she made a contribution and also asking strategies to adapt to make the work that they are doing so much. Thank you. Despite the English sections are struggling, but I know the French sections are really happy with this. So I think there's a contribution, and maybe the question aspect is the strategy to adapt. Please, any other one, please just make your contribution or question. You just have 5 minutes, even 5 minutes is much. Just go straight to the contribution or to the question. Please, is anyone?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. My contribution, sorry, excuse me, my contribution is to talk that Mr. Fegap is
Elisha, have the language.
He speaks the language. Fegap, Monsieur Fegap, merci beaucoup pour tout. Mais vous pouvez transmettre parce que, étant donné que vous êtes bilingue, elle a posé un problème de durabilité des financements. Aujourd'hui, même en Europe, les financements, ça n'existe plus comme ça. Mais ce qui limite les financements, c'est qu'on fait un projet, on vous dit que vous devez rendre les rapports dans 3, 4, 6 mois. Elle a parlé de ça. Donc, si on peut faire un projet qui peut aller au-delà d'1 an, on verra l'impact et on verra que les populations ont pris bonne note, les gens vont être formés avant d'être impliqués dans les projets. Mais les gens ne sont pas formés. On amène un projet, on leur impose et aussitôt après, on dit que le projet est fini. Il n'y a pas de suivi, il n'y a pas de suite. Tout le problème est là-bas. Moi, je crois quand même que si on peut faire des efforts pour faire en sorte que des projets aillent au-delà d'1 an pour avoir les résultats, on verra que l'impact sera important sur les communautés. Aujourd'hui, les communautés vivent au jour le jour. Ils vivent au quotidien. Chacun vit sa peine. Mais quand il y a des zones de guerre, on ne peut pas imposer un projet aussitôt installé, aussitôt fini. Ça ne peut pas marcher. Donc, je crois que c'est de ce côté que vous, les leaders qui êtes devant, vous devez faire en sorte que quand il y a des financements, que le projet dure un peu, qu'on implique les populations dès le début, pas au beau milieu, pour que cela puisse avoir un impact sur leur quotidien, sur leur suivi. Je vous remercie.
Okay, Jen, maybe I can do like a small summary of the 2 interventions in French. Huh?
People has this caption. You can actually find this caption, CC, to get the translation direct.
Okay.
If you have go to your icons, you see where is CC, caption. You can see direct translation. But Guy, you can do if you have that time.
No, just in 1 minute. So, Madam Williman from the EDRC was asking a question about how, which kind of strategy you can use to make our projects sustainable. Taking the examples of the organization that they have conducted several projects, but that do not last. The projects stay like 6 months, and after the funding is finished, everything is down, and the community is like abandoned. There is no way for the populations, for the community, to keep profiting from what the project was intended to bring. So she was actually asking what are some kind of the strategies we can use so that at the end of a project, the initiatives doesn't die. And Mrs. Bashiratu, I think, was like kind of bringing an answer to this question. So, because she said that if donors can finance project for at least more than 6 months, because generally there are projects of 3 months, 6 months, and after 6 months you have to submit the reports, and you don't have the time to measure the impact and to see how the changes is operating within the community, and it is making difficult for the community to really benefit from the project. So she was like suggesting that we should advocate to donors to finance projects, long-term projects, like at least 1 year, so that it gives times to the organization to implement it and involve the communities, so that they are part of the implementation of the project, and even beyond the project timeline, they are still able to benefit from the project and to make good use of what the project has created.
Okay, we have Elisha and Daniel. Maybe we can take them, then the speaker will respond. Elisha, please
Yes.
have your floor.
Yes, thank you so much for this great privilege. First and foremost, I would like to thank the organizers of this great event, most especially you, Jen, and other colleagues, and also the contributors of this program. In person of Engineer Mohammed, Goy Fire, Vetos Chibose, I want to thank you all for the great contribution that you have made. As a project management, governance, and financial management specialist over the years with NGOs, I think I have some reasonable experiences, more especially in the area of our discussion, which is centered on sustainability. Sustainability in every organization is key. I am only going to contribute and also bring some highlight on what we have had so far. Sustainability, when they say sustainability, they are calling it to refer to a situation where you are given something to try and also work on it so that it will remain with you. You will be able to benefit on it. There will be impact in benefit for a long time. But there are certain things or certain limitations that we have experienced in this area of sustainability. Of course, we build people's capacity so that they will be able to hold on for a long time. But the issue had been on the aspect of the period, just like someone have mentioned in French, but that will not deter us. It depends on the area of strategic planning that we embark upon. Some of the CSOs do not look at that angle. You want something to be sustainable, you have to identify a period to which you feel if you do this, then there will be impact from now to so time. Just like the Sustainable Development Goals that is aimed to be achieved some by 2030, there was a long-time definition of period for impact. So what I'm trying to say is that there are projects, there are several interventions across by these civil society organizations that after like 5 years, when you go there, you don't find them. What had been the reason? The reason had been more especially the aspect of capacity, building the capacity.
People are looking for something.
Sorry, building the capacity of the beneficiaries, the governance structure, the financial system, and also the linkages with the government. You need to link them up with government and also provide you need to provide a capacity that will enable them to hold on for a long time. And I have seen that advocacy is a limiting factor based on funding angle, the funding aspect of it. The funding is limited, but then we cannot say we cannot continue. We need to continue. We need to sensitize, to let government to align project priorities, institutional priorities with government programs, and also linking the beneficiaries, the communities with this government, because in some cases, there are areas where there is duplication of intervention. And how do we deal with this? We have to deal with this by effective linkage, by continued building of trust through transparency, accountability, and performance by these civil society organizations. So sustainability, if we want to have it, we want it to be effective, let us define a long period of time to which impact will be felt. So by doing that, we'll not have much problem again. And let us not also always base our intervention on funding, whether that if there is no funding, the project stops. No. Funders, they are only helping us. They are only making us to realize that there is something that we can be able to do, or there is something that the communities can be able to do by themselves that will be sustainable. Because there are some situations where there are people, even if you throw them into the ocean, they will still tell you that they are thirsty. So based on this, I don't see any much dependency on this funding. We need to generate, just like our contributors have mentioned. We need to find ways, we need to find areas where income can continue to be generated into the system so that the project benefits. That is my contribution. Is anybody hearing me? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, we can hear you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for your contribution.
Thank you.
Thank you. That was helpful.
Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Hello?
Yes, we can hear
Yeah,
you.
we're here.
Okay. Somebody was talking about sustainability. They don't want to go outside. They want to do it within. Well, that is a very good idea. However, in order to have such funds from within, earlier when I spoke, I talked about key sources of CSO funding, which includes but not limited to international donor agencies, government grants, corporate social responsibilities, foundations and philanthropies, membership contributions. So you can do membership contribution from within your organization and also mobilize the community, because these projects are sited in communities and communities must take ownership. If you see all these things we are going around, round and round and round, whatever we are talking about is community ownership. And if you have community ownership, that project will be sustained. So inciting projects, this is very key. From my years of experience working with NGOs, most CSOs alienate themselves from government. They just go into communities and do things, and that's why you are not having results as you should have. Engage the government, engage other parties that are working in the same area. You find out in a community, 5 CSOs will come and cite same project. For example, boreholes. You cite in same community. No, you don't have to do that. And secondly, to have sustainable projects in a community, do not cite those projects in a community that does not need that project. Ensure you do your due diligence. What do I mean by due diligence? By doing participatory rural appraisal or rapid rural appraisal. Involve the communities before citing a project. Let them take that project and understand why that project is going to be cited. Mr. Tanuna talked about advocacy and sensitization. You have to make them understand the benefit of those projects and ensure they chose that project themselves. Most of us make the mistake of going into community and go to the chief, have discussion, and we believe we've entered the community. No. The chief and the community leaders are just gateway into the community. You must have those communities and do those rapid rural appraisal. Get the men group, the female group, the youths, the gender and vulnerable groups, discuss with them about the project. Don't just discuss with the head of the communities. And that's why we have a lot of project failures. 2, encourage labor-intensive public workfare, where youths are engaged to do minor work in keeping the community clean or sweeping the clinics, making some things good. Those people that are good with bricklaying work, they have good craftsmanship. Encourage them through labor-intensive public welfare where they get small stipends. And then also, I would love the CSOs to look at livelihood support. And once you go into livelihood support, the government will come in to assist you. Apart from government, we have people representing those people. Members, House of Rep, members, this, that, and philanthropists within those communities. So encourage them, and then when they are doing that livelihood, encourage cooperative society amongst them. We've done it, and we've seen the dividend. Then Wilhelmine spoke about strategy to be used, which I mentioned earlier. Those strategies is ensuring those communities have buy-in. And if you are citing a project in a community, to ensure complete buy-in of communities, make them contribute at least 5% or 10% of the total project cost in cash or in kind, as mentioned by Vitalis. In cash or in kind, let them contribute something. At least the entire community will contribute. Somebody will contribute 500 naira, 100 naira, 50 naira, 10 kobo, no problem. Let them contribute. And once they contribute, you see them having voices. Take the voices of the voiceless and hear it. Then you will understand the plight of those communities and then what your intervention is all about. Let me not talk much. Let me stop here. Thank you very much.
Right. Thank you. I'm back. Network has really knocking me up. But thank you so much for this wonderful explanation. And I know maybe you have also, the 3 speakers, you've done justice to the questions because I'm just back. But we have someone raising hands since. Daniel, please, I don't know if you have spoken. Daniel, have you spoken from Liberia? Daniel, are you there? Okay. All right. Do we have still anyone who wants to ask question or make any contribution? I think justice has been done to today's.
Sorry, Madam Jane.
Okay.
Madam Jane.
Yes, sir.
Can I add something?
Okay, go on, sir.
Okay. Some of us are talking about donors to increase their timeline, they are donating. That's why it is donor. They are donating. They are not sponsoring everything. They are giving you some money to ensure that they ameliorate your problem. So if you want to say they should take it for 1 year, no, we are talking of how are we going to source funding. We have to diversify. If they say, okay, we are no more interested in giving you funds for social thing, because most of them, you find out that some of them are interested in maternal health care, some of them are interested in leprosy, some of them are interested in waterborne diseases. So different donors have their different priorities. And when their priorities change, you find out that you are in a little bit a state that is uncomfortable. That's why we say diversify the funding sources and your timeline. Yes, when you cannot say a project should last for a year, because in projects you have programs and projects. Programs is a compendium of projects. So if you have one project to be cited, it has a timeline. You cannot say a project will take you 6 months. No, it is going to take you like 2-3 months. Then in the next 6 months, you see the impact. So we call those small impact small e. The first small is the first small evaluation. You start seeing traces of the impact of that project you cited in that community. And you have to be going back to that place to ensure that the desired impact is felt. You have achieved it. And it continues to grow. So if you want it to be beyond a year, to beyond 2 years, yes, you can do it. You can have fund for a community and spread the fund for over a year or 2 years. For example, you want to give a community 25 million naira. So you now said, okay, this 25 million naira, the first period, we are giving you 10 million. Year 2, we are giving you another 10 million. Year 3, we are giving you 5 million to wind down the project. This is doable, especially if you are going to do borehole with overhead tank for reticulation. You can give a point for this year because of paucity of fund. Next year, you go in for reticulation. It continues like that. My study tour to Ethiopia showed that they have such things. Though it was a World Bank supported project, but they spread it over a period of 3 years because of paucity of funds. The community will want to do livelihood, they want to do water projects. They say, okay, year 1, do water projects. Year 2, go for livelihood. I think these are the things we look at it, because from our last speaker, Mr. Vitalis, he said we have to be innovative. You have to be
Okay. Are you true?
innovating. You have to look.
Okay. Daniel is still making a point. Maybe network is really disturbing. Are you through with your enumeration?
Yes, please.
Are you true? Because I'm
yes,
having
thank you very much.
Okay, Daniel, please can you make your point a bit faster, because we are running time now. Daniel, please have your floor to make your point, to finalize your point. I think you're having network challenges, as I do also here, because we can't hear you. Can you text in the box so that we can read it out? Daniel, please. Our time is running out. I know this is timed. Yeah, put it in the chat box. We can read it out and we need to respond maybe. Is anyone hearing me too?
Yes, I can hear you, Jane.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
I can hear you too.
Okay. I think a lot have been said. in my adage here, he said, a word is enough for a wise. I think the speakers, you can attest with me that they don't do justice. Depending your understanding, they really are waking us so much, including even me that hosted this program, because I also learned hugely that some trivial things we called is nothing, is becoming something. Yeah, plan for uncertainty. Organization is like a living being. It needs to last. It needs to be sustained. And with this, I think we have come to the closure of this event, except there's something, but if it's in absence of any other thing, please do feel free to reach us privately if you have. The speakers are there, I am there, Guy is there. If there's anything you want to learn more, or you want to reach us out as CPS, Center for Peace Advancement and Development, or Beyond, or Domi Foundation, who is working on empowerment, or the latest Chief RF organization, the engineer, please feel free. Can we drop any of our contacts in case they want to reach us before we close? Speakers, drop your contacts. Partners, drop your contacts. Guy and I will drop our contacts. Please feel free to reach out and we'll be there for you to answer any questions or facilitate any linkages. Guy, please, if there are any other thing, can you close?
No, I think we are through with the meeting. It's fine. But if those who are online can open their cameras, maybe for photo. If those who are online, you want to open your camera, you have to do a screenshot of the then. If you want to open your camera, that would be good. We'll take like a photo.
So you can find all our contacts. Guy, please drop yours. Yeah, WorldBeyondWar Nigerian chapter also. Our email. Guy, please drop. We are closing. If you have other questions, please reach out. The speakers are also here. Yeah, the speaker too, Engineer Mohammed, you can find him. Doctors, you can find him. We are listening one with partnership for we don't funding. Fund, but we can work with you for any years. Are you Nigeria or any place? We are there for you. Or there is any clarification you need afterwards, please reach us. You have dropped. Yeah. So please, Elisha. Okay, Elisha have dropped too. All right. So with this, we come to a close of this meeting. You can attest that it's reached. You are going home with one thing in your mind. Go back to your drawing table, rebirth the organization you have given birth, re-strategize, and I know we will be there together to sustain. Thank you so much. Guy, can you close so that we go?
Thank you.